All Elite Wrestling's reported new television deal with Warner Bros. Discovery could actually be worth more than the rumored $1 billion price. It could actually be closer to $1.2 billion, and we'll tell you why according to reports. CM Punk comments in All Access were reportedly edited out the program due to possible worries about legal issues involved. An update on AEW Fight Forever, the video game. The final AEW Rampage before Double or Nothing has been moved once again to a late night Saturday slot. Ring of Honor television tapings are now set to take place after AEW Collision events on Saturday nights. We've got the latest episode of AEW Rampage, the ratings for that show on TNT. MGF wrestles his first independent pro wrestling match since signing with All Elite Wrestling in 2019. Vice, the makers of Dark Side of the Ring, they've reportedly filed for bankruptcy, and Ricky Starks files to trademark his own name. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of All Elite Wrestling, and we've got to talk about certainly probably one of the biggest stories when it comes to AEW's future, maybe one of the biggest stories in their history of the company. Certainly something that's probably going to be announced this week at the Warner Media Discovery Upfronts. That is a possible new television deal with All Elite Wrestling and WBD. All Elite Wrestling will have a part of a major announcement on Wednesday, May 17 on TNT, and it's expected the creation of AEW Collision, a new Saturday night show from the promotion, will be made official along with the announcement of a new TV deal in the United States between AEW and Warner Bros. Discovery. The new deal will reportedly give Warner Bros. Discovery exclusive rights to AEW programming in the US, which is why Dark and Dark Elevation, the promotion's YouTube shows, were recently cancelled. Rumours had suggested AEW's TV deal would be worth $1 billion, but estimates don't appear to have been high enough. There have been some people saying that was too high, but according to the latest report here, estimates have suggested that maybe those speculatory numbers weren't even high enough. According to Wade Keller of PW Torch, AEW's new deal with Warner Bros. Discovery is expected to be worth approximately $240 million per year over 5 years, bringing the total sum to $1.2 billion. On average, the deal will bring in $4.6 million per week for All Elite Wrestling. Along with Collision, Keller noted the expectation is a content agreement between AEW and the Max streaming service will be announced. Speculation has suggested that AEW All In could air on Max in the United States to avoid the promotion running 2 pay-per-views in 7 days. AEW programming has aired on Warner Bros. Discovery Network since 2019. A 4-year extension for $175 million was agreed in early 2020. AEW Dynamite currently airs on Wednesday nights on TBS, while AEW Rampage usually airs, and I say usually airs, Friday nights on TNT. AEW Collision is expected to air on Saturday nights from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern on TNT also. So what are your thoughts on that? There was a lot of outrage and a lot of people kind of scoffing at the possibility of AEW getting a TV deal worth $1 billion, but according to a new report, it could be even higher than that, $1.2 billion. What does that mean for AEW? What's your reaction to it? As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, another show that airs on WBD stations is AEW All Access, the documentary series, the reality series, a behind-the-scenes look at maybe some of the more controversial moments in recent AEW history. And Matt and Nick Jackson of the Young Bucks have been among the AEW talent to be featured on AEW All Access, with the show chronicling the end of their suspension last fall and their first several months back within the company. All allusions to the reasoning behind their suspension have been particularly vague, and Dave Meltzer recently stated on Wrestling Observer Radio that references to the alleged fight following All Out last September were edited from the series. Quote, "The Young Bucks never mentioned Punk's name because they were not allowed to mention his name," Meltzer said, "but they did interviews to beat around the bush on the story, and even that was edited out because of the fear of legal reprisals. According to Meltzer, there are people involved with the situation who would like to speak out on the matter, but they are refraining from doing so due to possible legal action." Punk is reportedly due back to the promotion next month in June, lining up with the heavily rumoured debut of AEW Collision. Meltzer recently stated there was no update on the issues between Punk and the Elite, keeping chances of an on-screen program between the groups unlikely. However, all involved performers will seemingly be working side by side again soon, with the major caveat being there will be no major shows that may or may not be used to keep the sides apart. Rumours of a roster split have cooled down in recent weeks, so it remains to be seen how the the situation between Punk and the Elite evolves in the months ahead, but certainly it's going to be a big summer for AEW with the launch of a new show, CM Punk returning in. Again, how does that volatile with the situation with Punk and the Elite kind of play out behind the scenes in All Elite Wrestling? And one of the most anticipated things for several years at AEW has been the video game AEW Fight Forever, and it looks like the long-awaited release of AEW Fight Forever is now just weeks, hopefully not months away, as the full list of Xbox achievements has now been revealed, and Xbox preloads have also gone live. As revealed by Twitter user Jay Barnacles, the full list of AEW Fight Forever Xbox achievements were listed on the Xbox store yesterday, but they appear to have been removed since then. There's several of them. In addition, Xbox fans have found that they can begin preloading AEW Fight Forever via the Xbox app on Android and iOS, with the file size coming in at around 17.29 gigabytes, presumably on Xbox Series X. Finally, Insider Gaming has reported that we could be looking at a late June release date for AEW Fight Forever on Xbox and other platforms, although yet the outlet hasn't been able to confirm. This is just speculation, but certainly let's hope it's true. Again, I could go through all of the achievements. Links are in the video description below to have a look at all of these, but they're kind of just what you would get if you played through the game, but certainly it does imply that we're getting closer, albeit slowly, to AEW Fight Forever being released on all video consoles. And once the game is released, we are going to be doing some gaming, some streaming here on the channel. So if you're excited for that, if that's something you'd like to see, let me know, as always, what you'd like to see in the comment section below. Now, Rampage is a show, certainly it's been preempted a million times recently, hasn't it? With Saturdays, Fridays, earlier time slots, later time slots. AEW's last show before the upcoming Double or Nothing pay-per-view has been bumped to a very late Saturday night time slot. The go-home episode of AEW Rampage will air starting at midnight Eastern, technically on May 28th, and at 11 p.m. Central Time. The show will be followed by a Countdown to Double or Nothing special. Rampage's usual Friday night time slot that weekend will be occupied by TNT's coverage of the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs, and the late Saturday night start time is also owed to AEW having to contend with the NBA playoffs on TNT 2. Double or Nothing will take place on Sunday, May 28, but it isn't the only wrestling event taking place that evening. WWE will also be running NXT Battleground Premium Live event that same night, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern. This past September All Out aired, but earlier the same day, NXT World Collide Premium Live event also aired. While the All Out press scrum is most remembered for CM Punk's verbal tirade, AEW CEO Tony Khan had some choice comments for WWE about running a major event on the same day as AEW's. While Saturday is an irregular day for Rampage, Saturday nights will soon become home to AEW Collision. While the show's launch hasn't officially been announced just yet, it is expected to be made this Wednesday. Additionally, it's expected a host of other announcements will come alongside the announcement of a new, more exclusive media rights deal between AEW and Warner Bros. Discovery, as we spoke about earlier on as well. Now, when it comes to Collision, it's actually going to involve Ring of Honor in a certain way as well. While it hasn't been officially confirmed yet, AEW, of course, looks set to debut a third weekly show as part of a new deal with Warner Bros. Discovery, reportedly called AEW Collision. The new show will take place on Saturdays and potentially feature the second coming of CM Punk. The second coming is reportedly the name for that first debut show featuring the return of Punk. However, it could also affect the way AEW produces other programming that's affiliated with the promotion. According to Dave Meltzer of Wrestling Observer Radio, Ring of Honor television tapings will also take place on Saturdays right after Collision. Ring of Honor tapings have typically been held on Saturdays in the past, so not much has changed in that regard. That being said, it remains to be seen if ROH's weekly show will be affected by the new setup, as previous sessions had been shot at Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida. Elsewhere, AEW Rampage will still be filmed on Wednesdays following AEW Dynamite and some dark matches. As of this recording, there's been no word about AEW Dark and Dark Elevation returning following their apparent cancellations. However, Rampage is expected to be used as a show to showcase up-and-coming talent moving forward. Meltzer also claimed that AEW's new TV deal will give WBD exclusive rights to all of the company's products. Recently, it was reported that the TV deal could also affect AEW pay-per-views, with them potentially moving over to a WBD streaming service such as Max or Discovery Plus, as opposed to the outlets that currently used to host them. Furthermore, a streaming deal could potentially lead to an increase in the number of pay-per-view events that AEW puts on each year. We spoke about AEW Rampage. We got the ratings for last Friday's episode on TNT. According to WrestleNomics, the Saturday show, according to WrestleNomics, AEW Rampage on Saturday, May 13, drew 284,000 viewers. This number is down slightly from the 294,000 viewers the show drew on Friday, May 5th. The show scored a 0.07 rating in the 18 to 49 demographic, which is also down from the 0.09 rating the show scored last Friday. AEW Rampage ranked number 46 among cable originals on May 13. So again, not great numbers for a show that's just being moved all over the place when it comes to the time slots recently. MGF, you never see him on the independent scene. Certainly we haven't since he signed with AEW, so it was a rarity that we saw him do so over the past 7 days. AEW World Champion has famously benefited from a reduced in-ring schedule in AEW, being presented as a special attraction who's wrestled less and less often as time has gone on. As such, he hasn't been taking any bookings to wrestle on independent shows since October 2019. For one night only this past weekend, though, that changed. On Saturday, Creator Pro Wrestling, the promotion whose school the AEW champion broke in with, held an MGF homecoming show in Melville, New York that was promoted as featuring MGF, a meet and greet. In actuality, he wrestled an unadvertised match where he beat Leo Sparrow. After defeating Nick Robble, Sparrow cut a promo saying that because he's a vegan, I'm better than you and you know it. That brought out MGF in his wrestling gear with the AEW World Championship bout. There's a dirty rumor about me amongst professional wrestling fans. People say I don't like to wrestle too much, he said on the house mic. That couldn't be further from the truth. I love to wrestle, actually. His issue, wrestling anywhere other than the most magical place in the world, Long Island. So he vowed to bash this vegan's nuts in, and the match was on, with MJF winning in about 9 minutes with a LeBell lock after a low blow. Following the win, MJF cut a promo putting over the Creator Pro Wrestling Academy before pivoting to his AEW World Championship defense in less than 2 weeks at Double or Nothing. Now let's go to Las Vegas, Nevada on May 28th, and let's prove who's the biggest, baddest pillar of them all. In the Double or Nothing main event, MJF defends against his fellow members of the four pillars of AEW, that being Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin, and Jungle Boy Jack Perry. It will be MJF's third defense of the title since winning it from Jon Moxley in November, having previously retained against Ricky Starks and the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. Now, we're still waiting for Dark Side of the Ring. That's still going to happen, the 4th season, but Vice is in a bit of trouble. After a 2-year wait, fans of Dark Side of the Ring are about to get what they want, with the long-awaited 4th season of the show scheduled to begin airing at the end of this month, that being May 30th. But barring any major changes in the next few weeks, the new season will air on time, in a time of vast uncertainty at Vice Media, the parent company of Dark Side of the Ring's TV network, Vice TV. PW Insider is reporting that Vice Media has officially filed for bankruptcy in a New York court this morning. The news isn't entirely negative, however, as the filing was done to make a potential sale of Vice Media, which claims to have an offer of $225 million easier. According to the filing, Vice Media will be purchased by a consortium consisting of Fortress Credit Corporation, Soros Fund Management, and Monroe Capital. The consortium has all served as lenders for Vice, and the bankruptcy filing revealed that Fortress Credit is owed $475 million by the company. Broadcasting company A&E Networks, which airs Biography, WWE Legends, and WWE Hidden Treasures, was also listed as in the filing, being owed $937,000 due to A&E's stake in Vice. While Vice's future long-term is up in the air with the sale process, which will include all of Vice's assets, including Dark Side of the Ring and Vice TV, expected to take several months, the immediate future of Dark Side of the Ring should be secure. As with seasons 2 and 3, the show will be hosted by AEW star Chris Jericho, with season 4 focusing on topics such as Chris Candido and Sonny, Doink the Clown, WCW Bash at the Beach 2000, and much more. Of course, if we get any updates on Dark Side of the Ring or Vice, we'll let you know. Finally, Absolute Ricky Starks. He's filed to trademark his name. Ricky Starks made a name for himself in the NWA before going to AEW during the COVID-19 pandemic. He was quickly a part of Team Taz before splitting off to be his own man and has slowly risen up the card, where he is a notable upper card to main event player for the promotion. Starks, real name Richard Starks, has locked down his in-ring name. The AEW wrestler, through his company Dream Palace, had attorney Michael Dawkins file the trademark with the USPTO for the purposes of merchandise merchandising services on May 11. So Ricky Starks now has his name. AEW has yet to confirm a match for Starks at Double or Nothing, the pay-per-view on May 28 at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. Recently, he's been involved in a feud with Juice Robinson and Jay White of Bullet Club Gold on AEW programming, so maybe that will involve something there as well. But there you go, guys. This is the latest AEW news for you. Be sure to smash the like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe bottom right-hand corner. Let me know your thoughts, as always, in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.